This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening. It is August 24th, 2020. This is a meeting of the Hanson Recreation Commission. We are meeting remotely in accordance with the governor's guidelines for open meetings during this COVID pandemic. This meeting is being audio recorded. Those in attendance are Diane Cohen, Brian Smith, Brian Frizzetti, Joan Frizzetti, Dory Jamison, and Rec Director Bill Boyle. Did I get everybody?
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. All right. First item on the agenda is accepting minutes, I believe.
Yep.
And would anyone like to make a motion to, did everyone have a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting? We all good? Would anyone like to make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
A motion to accept the meeting minutes from July 8th, open session, July 8th, executive session, August 3rd, open session.
Okay.
Functionality.
I'm sorry, Joan, I can barely hear something about functionality.
Second, no, that has to do
Okay.
with something it off me. Sorry.
Okay, the motion has been made, the motion has been seconded. All those in favor, Diane Cohen is aye. Brian Smith,
Can I say aye? I missed the last meeting, August 3rd.
okay, you can say aye for the July 28th, I think it was?
Oh, July
Okay.
8th.
July 8th, I mean, sorry. Okay. I don't have it in front of me either because I'm working from my phone right now. Okay. And Brian and Joan?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So the motion's carried. All right, next on the agenda is, if I see here, I'm switching back and forth. Okay, Bill? Can we go to Rec Director? Yep.
It's a request for a wedding refund. However, it's not a COVID one because their wedding's not until September 25th of next year. And I'm not sure, Dory, do you have a little bit more background? Is it just more so that
Yeah.
they don't want to plan that far out now or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a Kingston resident, and they are saying that they're having trouble getting stuff together. The everything, the caterer, the wedding dress, and on for 2021, and is asking for some sort of relief. So I don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of couples getting things together now quickly. So this is 2021 asking for COVID relief. So it's a bit out there.
I think our policy is that if you're booking, within the 4 months, I get that, but I don't think we can predict that those are COVID related issues until we're closer to that actual date. We don't know. This thing is changing all the time. So I really don't think we can say just to give her the money back. That is my thought. Is there any more discussion on this?
I mean, I would say if anything, because I know in the past we've just told people that they can, schedule it out another year. I mean, I'd say we could maybe put that out there for them, but I think for them to try to say that they're still a little over a year out to say that it's directly impacted by COVID, I don't know that I agree with that.
I just don't think it relates enough to COVID. I think we're going to have to stay with our traditional agreement that if they cancel, they forfeit their deposit, or she can book for another time.
Right.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's the way we need to go on it. But if there's any other discussion from Brian Smith, Brian Frazzetti, or Joan,
Agree with that.
You got two on this end that agree.
okay, Brian
soon.
Smith.
Yeah, stay with the policies, I imagine. That's what
Yeah,
you should.
they have to adhere to the policy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can tell her that the current policy remains in effect because the commission feels that the town, we're, you know, the policy is in good faith, really. I mean, she's too far out to say it's COVID related.
Right. You have no idea of where we're going to be in 2021 to make a decision
Exactly.
today.
Right. Especially September of 21 after a whole nother summer.
Right.
So
It was
All right.
far-reaching.
that takes care of that. Next on the agenda. What's next?
The next one, it's a discount that they're requesting for, so they have an October 10th date of this year. And Dora, I believe, is this the one that they're having the kayak ceremony, but then want to do a small reception, so they want the discount? Is that this one?
Yeah, exactly. This is the one where they want to get married on kayak, but their question is that because they can only have 25 people inside, can they, be afforded some sort of discount because it's not the wedding that they wanted?
Well, unfortunately, nobody these days is getting the wedding they wanted.
Right.
You know, I apologize for that, but there's nothing. We certainly wanted to give you the wedding you wanted.
Right.
I mean, they can only have 25 people in the main lodge. What about, does she want to rent the library and open the gates? Open the windows and spill it out onto the porch and stuff?
Yeah, we explored all that, having it outside where there's 50 people and all that, and she is mulling it over. I think this is going to be a no-go anyway, but I think she's just looking to see if there was any type of discount because it was, not the huge amount of people that she wanted to have inside, which has nothing to do with us.
Any discussion on this? Does anybody have any thoughts?
The one. Go ahead. Sorry.
Are they just looking to do a ceremony with no reception at this point?
No, they want to do a ceremony on the kayaks, and then they want to have a small reception of 25 people in the main lodge. So are they still planning on having food and everything and using the kitchen and having a caterer and such?
Yeah, they would. Absolutely.
Well, then they're getting the facility. They're getting the same service. We are not a wedding package where we change the amount of our rental based on the amount of people with food and everything. So she is still getting the exact same facility. So no, I don't see how we can do that.
Right. I agree.
So I don't know. Does anybody have any thoughts? Discussion? No, you're not in the meeting. Be quiet. Anybody?
My only thought is, at least in looking at if there were some sort of compromise, if they're not going to do ceremony on the deck and all that, and we're not going to have to set up the space, based on what our new rates are, potentially knocking off the $500 that would be the ceremony and still charging them the remaining amount because they are going to be using the facility. But honestly, either way, I'm fine with whatever the board decides, honestly.
Okay, so this wedding is in September. The beach, September what, by the way?
That's October 10th.
October 10th. So the beach will be closed. So we need somebody to open the gate. And are we required to have any kind of a lifeguard there? This is technically our facility. We are giving permission to use it. This is not swim at your own risk or anything. Not that I think the bride is going to, or the groom is going to drown or anything, but what are the requirements? Do we need a lifeguard? Because we have to have a caretaker there, simply to open the gates and close them. And I think it's a wonderful thing if you're into kayaking that much and you want to get married on one. However, what is our responsibility here as far as staffing for the beach?
Well, then I don't know, because the boat ramp is technically always open. People can launch boats at any time.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess this could potentially be, this probably has to go up the flagpole to, maybe John, Board of Selectmen, and then, just police and fire to see. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is if they're having 25 people, are those 25 people going to be out on kayaks as well? Or are they going to be watching the ceremony from the docks or the beach?
From the deck. They'd be watching the ceremony from the back deck of the lodge.
Oh, they would be on the deck. Okay.
From the back deck of the lodge.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I have something. If they're not swimming, why do we need a lifeguard if the people are just on kayaks and nobody's in the water?
Right. No, I just wanted to know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know if the whole group was going over there or if people are swimming to watch this ceremony or what. So now that I have some clarity, they are getting on the kayaks themselves through the public access, which is open all the time. The guests will be waiting at the deck. They will watch the ceremony from there, and then they have the lodge. So they don't want to just watch. They don't want to just rent the library and the outside porch areas. They want access to the full main lodge with tables set up, food and everything, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, and for the full 4 hours or however many hours?
They're asking exactly. Yep, for our full services. So we'd still be providing everything that we do. I think they were just thinking that because they can't have as many people, is there anything we could do? She kind of intimated like maybe like a Friday or a Sunday rate as opposed to a Saturday rate, because this isn't like on a Saturday, but, it's one of those things. We can only do what we can do.
I don't know. How are people feeling about it? Anyone?
They have a bar service and all that too, right?
I'm sorry? Pardon me?
They have the bar service too?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I would just
Anybody
go ahead
else?
with a full group.
It could be raised to 50 by then.
What do you think?
I said it could be raised to 50, back to 50 again. I mean, she could have more people there attending the wedding. We don't know because it changes from week to week, so. Well, I mean, it all depends on how things stand with how many people come up with it, so.
Well, plus you also gave them the opportunity of the library and raising the doors and all that for the same price. So, I mean, you're offering them to bring more people there. She's being not there.
The thing is that on our end, nothing is really changing. Like you said, we are providing the same service, and it's unfortunate that she can't have all those people, and I understand it. Maybe she was counting on some of the money from people to pay for it, but on our end, nothing is changing. And I have to be honest, I don't know of another venue that is handing people their money back because of this.
Right.
So
yeah, they at our last meeting, through John and Melissa, they were talking. I think it was before you got there. They had both said that there's no refunds being handed out to anyone. They're just charging, and if you don't want the wedding there, they still get their money.
Right. They get otherwise. Right. I mean, people are giving the option to rebook at another time so that they can, you know, see if something else will work at another date, and hopefully COVID will be over. But nobody's just handing their money back and saying, oh, we feel bad because of COVID. I don't think we can do it. That is my personal opinion. So is there any more discussion on it? Does anybody else want to talk?
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing it. We don't want to stop that precedent.
I agree. So I think we're a no on this. Please extend our apologies to her that, you know, everybody here is in the same boat or kayak, however she understands it. And, you know, everybody's in the same situation here, and we just, no, we are providing the same service, and it's just against the policy, and it's a town-owned building, and we'll stick with the policy.
Right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay,
Perfect.
moving on. What's next on the agenda?
So the next one is just a request. These folks have not booked yet. They just want to do a wedding ceremony and wanted to see, you know, kind of what we would charge them to do a ceremony on the back deck. I think this one's kind of cut and dry because it's implied that if somebody just did a ceremony, it would be $500 because that's what we have now taken off if people don't do a ceremony and just do the reception. So I guess just wanted to get confirmation that we would tell these folks to do a ceremony on the back deck, it would be $500, unless you guys feel that that's too much and you want to change the amount. But
I think that's what we decided that it was worth for $500. And I don't know if anybody else has changed their tune on that. So if anybody would want to speak up about it, go ahead.
Yeah, you might want to check back on the meeting minutes on that. I thought we charged $1,500 for the deck last time. I might be wrong, but I thought it
Not
was
just for a
$1,500.
ceremony. It wasn't just for a ceremony was $500. I thought.
yeah, no, you're correct, Diane. It's just $500.
Okay, better than zero.
That's for sure.
I mean, I got married 30 something years ago in a Catholic church, and that cost me $300. So, you know, I think 500 is reasonable. All right. So.
Does this
Sorry,
require a motion? Oh, sorry. Does this require a motion to go in front of the Board of Selectmen? I know it's kind of not really a discount. It's almost like we're setting rates.
Yeah, I think where you guys voted for the new rates and the Board of Selectmen approved that, it should be fine because it's pretty much implied within it that, you know, with a ceremony and reception, say on a Friday it's $3,500, reception only is $3,000. So obviously it does value that ceremony at $500. So I don't think it needs to go.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was written like that. So yeah, I think
the new
I don't think it needs
like that. Right. You're just hearing to a prior vote.
Okay, so I'm sorry. There's a plane like right above me, a helicopter. Lovely. And I couldn't hear anything that you just said.
Oh, you get just an agreement that you're just adhering to a prior vote of rates that you had taken a vote before about the $500.
Okay, sounds good. We're going to charge them $500, and that's the standard, and that's in our policies and rates. Okay. I don't think it requires a vote.
No.
Okay, moving on.
All right, next up, and this is the last kind of request for some sort of like fee waiver, or not a waiver rather, but we have a woman who is looking to put on a seminar, health and wellness, September 13th and October 11th. And essentially what she's looking at is she doesn't know that the 4 hours would be enough, and it may go over. And what she was asking, because I told her based on what our rates are, it's $250 an hour after the 400, and she thought that was a little steep. So I said, you know, we could see if, you know, we would allow her 6 hours at $600, which would essentially give her the 2 hours of setup and then $100 an hour for both those dates. And what she's looking to do is have the seminars outside and she's going to split it up so that it's no more than 50 people in the first session and then 50 people in the second, so that they can adhere to the gathering size limitations.
Okay. What days of the week are those?
I want to say, I gotta check. Hold on. I think they're
Sunday.
weekdays. I think they're Sundays. Is that what it is, Dory?
Yeah, September 13th is a Sunday, and October 11th is a Sunday.
Of this year.
Correct.
Yeah.
And those dates were not booked for anything else?
Nope.
Well, they were booked, but they have since rescheduled. There were, I think, at least on the 13th, there was a wedding that's already rescheduled, and
Yeah.
possibly with the 11th. So yeah, there's no conflicting events on those dates.
Okay, so given that there's no conflicting dates, I mean, I don't know, as Brian just said, some is better than nothing. I don't know, how do people feel about that? Because she's using the outside. Probably only need one caretaker, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there would just be somebody there, setting up chairs outside and then just being there, just to pretty much help break down at the end. So nothing major.
Okay.
So you're basically looking for a motion to charge $100 per hour for a 6-hour event. So between the two events, you're looking at $1,200 total.
Correct.
Exactly.
Who wants to second? Anyone?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor? Diane Cohen is aye. Brian Smith?
Aye.
Brian Fazzetti?
Aye.
And Joan Fazzetti.
Aye.
Okay. Motion is carried. She can have that.
Do we have to go through Board of Selectmen because it is a reduced rate?
So we need to add to the motion pending Board of Selectmen approval.
Okay.
Okay. That take care of that one?
Perfect.
Okay. Next on the agenda?
Newsletter. So more so just getting feedback from people on the kind of draft that Dory sent out.
Anybody have any comments on it other than I think it's super cute?
That's cute.
Anybody?
Diane?
Yes.
Okay, on the first page, she's got Frisbee golf listed, but we don't have the date requested. I know they sent out the plan and then the golf the whole thing, but we don't have dates for when we would have it for, and the hours that it would be.
Okay.
And again, it's just
Right.
a draft, just to kind of get a
Just a
layout of what
draft.
it's going to look like.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a complete draft. It's just things that you might, if you like the substance and things you want to add, or things you don't like on there. But it's a complete draft, so there's no dates and times and all that.
Right. It's just to critique the setup and the type of information that's being presented.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If that's something
every-
along the lines that you think it's going.
Right. Does everybody like the format?
I think the setup is phenomenal. It's very organized. It's very clean. It's got a little bit of everything, spaces for a little bit of everything. I think it came out good. Again,
Okay.
obviously, we all know content's going to change. I have to try John's thighs before we print that, though. Make sure they're edible.
Yeah. All right. So we may wanna critique the recipe before we print it.
Yeah, maybe have John feed us those thighs, and then we can, approve it after.
Sure,
Yeah,
Brian. Brian, if you can get that to fly, I am all for it.
Yeah.
Look, I've had meetings with John. The guy always wants a free lunch. It ain't happening.
Okay. All right. That being said, are there any other comments about the newsletter?
So I think we just need some, like, maybe, I think for the scouts, I think Julie was going to send something, and for movie night, I think Melissa was going to send something. So, just that, but this is pretty much it. And I know Joan had sent me some great stuff about, historical, and I'm meeting with Harold Town for some more historical information. And I just want to thank Maddie Story she got this whole software, the whole Canva to even to make this happen. So she was wonderful and doing this and enthusiastic. Oh yeah, she just like totally like did like a newsletter,
She's
so,
huge. She's Miss Story Rock.
She's amazing. So and anyway, just want to it's just a draft, and so I don't know. Are we thinking like October would be our first published, or
Well, I think October might work better. I think October would be better only because then we would have the movie night to talk about, the story walk to talk about, and there'd be a lot to fill it.
All that stuff have already happened, and then we can talk about it. And then we've got the Halloween extravaganza. We could focus on that.
Right. We could focus on that and talk about how we need volunteers and things like that.
Right. Exactly.
And we will hopefully have another movie night too. By then.
Yeah. So
there'll be plenty for it.
Okay. So just continue on with it.
Absolutely.
Work in progress.
Let us know when, maybe by October 1.
Yeah, I think that would be great. So
that would be great.
We'll be meeting obviously, before then. And okay, that sounds wonderful.
Okay.
Hey, Diane.
Yes, Brian.
Through you to Dory. Dory, I was wondering if it wasn't too difficult, because I know you sent it as a packet. I don't know how to break the packet apart, and what I do at my house is like all the agendas I have in one file on my computer, all the meeting minutes are in another file, and then say your newsletter would be a separate file. Is it possible, and if it's not too much of a trouble, send it to individuals?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no trouble whatsoever.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So of course. Separate file on the newsletter.
No, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, naturally.
And Dory, this goes way and above beyond your duties. So I really do want to thank you for this.
Oh.
And I don't know if we should be paying you extra or what, but it was
no, absolutely not. No, thank you. This is fun. We're, and Billy and I are doing it together, and we're having a great time doing it. So it's going to be we're coming up with a lot of good things, and this is one of many positive things we're coming up with. But I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Okay.
But it's a labor of love.
All right, moving on. So under new business, hold on, I lost my PDF now. Where'd it go? Darn it. Where's the agenda? I hate doing this from my phone.
This events program.
Can somebody, events and programs, thank you. Is Maureen on the line?
Who?
What?
Okay, there was a woman that wanted to be on. She sent me a proposal for an event at the camp, and I don't have her on here now. I gave her the meeting link just to see if she wanted to come and, be in on it because it's an open meeting. So she may come later so we can revisit it under events, under new business. But in the meantime, if she doesn't show up yet, we can move on until she does. So under old business, I know old business is next. So
Yeah. The first one is events and programs.
okay, so that'll flow into it. Okay, so the movie night. I know Melissa's not here. John's not here. The movie night was a great success, I felt. There were a few complaints about the small screen. We're going to fix that with the next movie night by renting the larger screen. Actually, we're not even renting it. We're using the screen that the high school owns, and they also have a sound system to go with it. So overall, most people thought it was very organized and that it was a great event for the kids. Everybody just kept saying that in the survey, so that was a good thing. I've already secured the rental of, the using of the screen from the high school. I just have to fill out the rest of the paperwork on it, but I didn't do it over vacation, so I will do it this week. And I think people voted that they wanted to see Goonies. So, and I know that that's covered in our, that it's on the list, right, Bill?
I will check because nobody had asked me about Goonies yet, so I'll go through the list and make sure that it's on there.
Oh, Melissa said she checked it with you and you said it was, but I could be, maybe she misspoke. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was Goonies. And the next one that came in was E.T. and I know we have E.T. on there. So we can do either one. We're doing it in September at McQuan again. And we don't need to have the Rotary sponsor us. We can do this ourselves. And we just need to set it all up in Unipay. And Bill, I'm going to give it to you from here because you can update us on how that is going. I have to have, again, hands, clapping, applause, and hats off to Juvie and Melissa for doing the last movie night. They did a fantastic job. John Zuko, I know he's not here, but, he came by and helped with parking and all of that. So it was really good. Maddie and Emily did a great job as our caretakers. Bill was there. I was there. It was really a good night. So, Bill, where do we stand on the Unipay for the next movie night?
So they're working on the link. I was just waiting to get some more information from Melissa so that they can finish it up. One thing I need to confirm is I know we're trying to add people being able to purchase pizza through the link, pre-ordering it. And I just wanted to confirm the price on that. The other thing is that we're going to need the date and the movie solidified for when they put the link up, but they do have it in process. So they're working on setting it all up.
Okay. All right. So on the 31st in our meeting, we will solidify all that. It's Melissa has all the info.
Okay. We weren't able to secure an August 31st meeting, so that, it's gonna have to get pushed, but.
Why were we unable to secure on August 31st?
Because Ryan has other things going on, so he wasn't able to fit us in.
Okay, maybe. Oh, and that's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. So the 14th is he said our next Monday could work in his schedule.
Hey,
I'm
Dan.
sorry. Is someone trying to? Is that?
Sorry.
I'm getting static.
Brian F.
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Can't we social distance and have it in person on the 31st? Do we need to keep doing this?
I'm fine with having a socially distanced meeting. I have no problem with that.
The Board of Selectmen started.
Right, exactly.
But they may not be sticking with it either.
Yeah, but I think we can all wear masks, we have enough room in the lodge. We shouldn't be tied to virtual. We can do this.
Right, we absolutely can do this. If they're sending people back to school in this community and in most communities, I think we can handle this. The lodge is bigger than most, areas where they're, I'm sure everybody here has been into the grocery store or to Walmart, so I think we can have a socially distanced meeting.
We also have 8-foot tables. So even if you put a member at each end of the table, I mean, maybe my mother can sit together because we're in the same household. But
Right,
just put them
exactly.
at the end of the table and record it like we used to.
Okay, we can do that. Dory, did you want to say something? I thought I heard your voice. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
About that. It's just that I personally am unavailable August 31st. That's my 60th birthday, and and there are plans for me. So that's just a side note, and I'm just not available. Not that you can't meet without me, because you certainly can. Yeah, no, I'm just unavailable that night.
We can meet without you, and that's fine. I think it's important to get all this stuff finalized before movie night. So, and I think John Stanbrook will be there as well. So the 31st, I think we should probably just have an in-person socially distanced meeting. So we can do August 31st at 6 o'clock. All right.
Also, Diane, is this just for one specific thing? Is this just for the executive session and that's it? We're not going to have a full agenda, I think.
No. Well, we need to finalize anything that goes on with movie night. It should just be like, okay, is this all set? Is this all set? Yep. One and done.
Right.
Right. But we're not going to have a full meeting, and it's up to Bill whether or not we go into executive session or not. It's entirely his call.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So that being said, August 31st at 6 o'clock. Now, did I hear somebody else popping in to this meeting? Or a chime or something?
Yeah, Maureen, your thing's on mute. Oh, there you go.
Hi, Diane. It's Maureen St. Croix.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Good. Maureen, would you like to share a little bit about your program with the kids that you are proposing here?
Sure.
I think I sent it out earlier. I apologize for not sending it out sooner. I sent it out for people to look at, but we're not going to decide anything right now tonight, but I wanted Maureen to attend the meeting because this is a great idea that she has. She lives across from the camp. She's in the yellow house that is directly across from the boathouse where the lights often shine when they're not on their timers. So
that's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Bill took care of it right away, so that was good.
Yes, it was. I thank you. I really appreciate it. It looks like the mothership is taking off.
When the lights are on.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
Okay, so go ahead, Maureen. Just take a few minutes and explain it.
Okay, so I was speaking with Diane about, my son is grown now, but we really never got to utilize Camp Kiwanee for anything kid. We had to go other places, and we did do swim lessons, which were fabulous, but I wish there had been so much more. And I just said to Diane, I mean, it just is a shame, and she felt the same way, and she's like, we're trying to get some things together, and she said, if you have a thought, email it off to me. And I thought about it for a moment, and I thought, really, what brings people together better than a story? Everyone loves a story, whatever your age is. And so I started researching local storytellers, and I found Big Joe. I don't know if everyone has had a chance to take a peek at that. You can check out his website. His link is on what I sent to Diane, and I called him and I spoke with him and I watched a few of his videos, and he seems great. And it seems to me economical. And this particular storyteller, he comes equipped with everything he needs. We could put him inside, we could put him outside. He's willing to do a combination of outside socially distanced along with video, so people could attend even if they weren't comfortable attending live. And I just feel that and wish that there were more of this for our community here. And so I was inspired after speaking with Diane, because I am passionate about education. I homeschooled my son, and I don't care what your age is. We all need to re-educate, relearn, and share with each other. And I think programs like this are a perfect opportunity for that. And, you know, I thought he was a pretty decent price. I mean, as these things go, and manageable for most families. And, you know, he's willing to work with us.
Maureen, why don't you talk about the financial details, what he will cost, the families, you know, the price
I
for
have all of
families.
that in front of me, so I'm going to go off of my head. If you don't give me 1 second, I can pull it up so I can see what I'm looking at.
I think I sent it to everybody. Yeah, I did. I sent it to everybody.
Give me 2 seconds and I will find it.
I think I have it. Do you want me to?
Oh, I can pull it up. I just have to look for it. Okay.
Are you sure? Yeah. You had to look at your phone.
Okay, so as far as financials, he is $300 for an hour of storytelling. And it was my understanding after talking to Diane that the camp would like an 80-20 split for anything that it does. So I was just going off the cuff. I'm not even sure how many people we can fit socially distanced over there or what the parameters are for that, and permit fees and all of that. So if he's $300 for the hour, how I kind of saw this, it would be kind of fun if we could do a 2-hour event where people were able to bring a picnic, and at the end of the first hour, he could start his storytelling. And at that point, I would suggest charging $30 per family for the live participation, with an additional $5 per extra child if there are more than 2 children. So it would be 4 people for $30. The virtual event could be a flat $30. And I'm not sure of the exact size of the outside area and how we would fit it all. That's not something I knew, so I was just really kind of going off the cuff with it. And that being said, a minimum of 15 to 20 live families would result in $150 to $300 for the camp, and whatever is virtual would kind of be gravy. And for advertisement, we could do it through the camp itself, as well as the library, the PTO groups, and whatever social media you guys are involved with. So that's sort of my thought on it. I don't know how anyone else feels about this.
Well, that's what I wanted to get from people. Is this an event you think we could do? Are there any thoughts, questions, concerns, comments? Do you think it's too much money? Do you think it's not? Do you think it's not something that will fly at the camp? Do you think it's too similar to the story walk we're going to do? What do you think?
Well, I think it's quite different from the story walk, because people will be in that kind of walking through the camp, where this is more of a, you know, Big Joe is the story. So it's certainly, you know, a possibility. We just have to hash out certain details in terms of, again, gathering size, you know, whether or not the Board of Health has to get involved in terms of like the, you know, the picnic aspect of it. I think since it's under 75 people, we might be in the clear on that. So there's just a couple of, you know, kind of the municipal red tape that we just have to make sure we go through, and I think we could certainly make it work.
Okay, anybody else?
You said this is coming back in front of the comm again, right?
Yes, it's going to come back, but I wanted to just see what people thought. So I wanted to basically introduce everyone to Maureen, because she is a neighbor of the camp, and to let you know that she put together this specifically for the camp, and I appreciate that. And this is what we need. We need more people in the community to come up with some ideas too. So, Maureen, I thank you for coming. I think this is something we're definitely going to discuss at the next meeting, and I can call you this week with some, you know, we can talk more about it.
Terrific. That's wonderful. And I just want to let you guys know, I did speak with him as well. He would be even open to, I know you and I, Diane, had talked about how it would be great if there were after-school programming there. He has run after-school workshops and would be willing to discuss coming to Camp Kiwanee to do that if that's something you're interested in as well.
I would be very interested in discussing that because I think kids will need that with the scattered schedule they're going to have with the new learning situation.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
He's really, he has a lot of references. You can check out his website. I didn't know him. I just kind of Googled great storytellers locally, and that is how I found him. And he was very approachable, and he's happy to come in front of the board if you would like.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you guys. It was nice to meet everyone virtually.
Nice to meet you, Maureen. Sorry about the light.
Oh, that's okay. Take care.
We'll try to keep it off next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Maureen. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so I think it's another good event for the camp. So I just wanted to put it out there when she asked me about it. So we can put it on another meeting agenda and he can do it. We can talk about it later. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, my only concern is the price point, Diane. It might be a little steep.
I agree with you. I do agree with you on that.
As far as the concept goes, phenomenal concept. I have no doubts about it being a fantastic program. I just think Hanson.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking is maybe we need to, if we need to get a sponsor or we need to just look into it a little more carefully.
About, I know she talks about 2 hours, but maybe you get a discount for that second hour overall. Instead of being
maybe.
$600, maybe 4 or 5 in that range. I mean, I know
well, that's what I figured we could, discuss the next time, or put your thoughts down and email them to me and to Bill or whatever. Okay?
All right.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are receptive to this idea. And what's next on the agenda under old business?
Well, so Diane, do you have the info from Maureen? Can you forward that out to me, and then I can send it to the commission?
Yeah, I actually sent it, and I can send it to you, and I'll send it to Dory. And I just did it real quick this morning. So yeah, basically she just read from it. So I think you guys would have to work the numbers and stuff. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'll send that to you tonight.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on now with the old business?
So just events and programs piece. So, I still have the disc golf in the works. So obviously I sent you guys kind of, the layout and, kind of how it would be set up. So you'd have the scorecard on one side, the graphic that lays out kind of the course on the other. I'm waiting to hear back from Walker Clay in terms of getting some of those the mini golf course pencils that we can get done up with the logo, as well as frisbees with the Kiwanee logo and stuff on it that we could kind of price into the program.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to hear back from Greer. So what I'm gonna have to try to do is see if we can order the materials through. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna need to try to see if we can order the materials through the town's Amazon account and then get billed for it, because through the accounts that we have, they don't have the type of materials that we need to put together a feasible goal or pin, whatever you want to call it, for the the disc golf. So I'm trying to work with Greer to see if we can order that through Amazon, and get the pieces that we need through there to assemble it. So it's looking like if we do it, we could do it for October. That would give us time to, again, set the program, set everything up, have it ready to go, which is why I set up the fishing program for September, and let's just go ahead and jump into that because I know Joan has some concerns. So let's just throw that out there and get that on the table.
Okay, fishing program. Go ahead. So go ahead, Joan.
My concerns were that he could have posted it already without us approving it. And I'm not sure. I think $20 is too high a price.
They're getting Saturday and Sunday out of it, so it's $10 a session.
I understand, but we charged nothing last year.
We also weren't in the pandemic and losing money from having to cancel weddings. So, I mean, we got to do what we got to do.
I understand, but it's still not fair because the people will complain. I'm going from $0 to $20, and I just think it's too high a price. And if you posted it out without any of us knowing anything about it, and that shouldn't have been done either because we have to approve it, both the price and the date. So that's all.
Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, and if I could, Diane.
I'm sorry?
If I could,
Yep.
please.
Yes, go ahead, Brian.
I want to make sure I'm going through you. I get the problem I see with the fishing, when you're talking fishing or archery or anything like that, working with the gun club, you find that you have so many people that want to do these programs. I mean, the gun club charges like $2 for archery and $3 for junior rifle, and it's a 1 to 2 hour program. So you're talking really nominal cash, and they do it every week. The problem with that is they can only do it once a week. Now, if you're going to do a Saturday and Sunday, my recommendation, again, it's only a recommendation, is maybe charge $5 per day and just get as many kids as you can in. Because if I don't know what the maximum capacity is. Do you know what the max amount of people that can fish, Bill, is?
Well, outside gatherings is technically 50, but there's no way that we don't have the infrastructure to oversee 50 kids, which is why, we're trying to keep it right around 8 kids.
Right, because I know last year we had Bill and Colin, wasn't it, that ran the program?
Yes, we had Bill and Colin the last 2 years, actually, and both times there were waiting lists for this. I'm sure part of that was because it was for free. But now...
You'd be surprised. People will pay.
Okay.
But just not that much.
Right. No, but I don't know what the rules are outside within. I don't want 50 kids on that dock, right outside the boathouse.
Well, I would recommend if you increase, say if you have Colin and Bill again, running the program and say they're going to come in 2 times a day. I realize Bill is limited to how many hours he can do a week. But if you break it up and you have morning session on Saturday, afternoon session on Saturday, morning session on Sunday, afternoon session on Sunday, maybe $5 a head, where you're only limiting 10 kids per. At least if you don't give them back to back, like the same kids showing up Saturday and showing up Sunday, now you're giving opportunity to more kids in the town, and we have a lot of kids in this town that I'm sure would love duck fishing. And I'd hate to, like last year, unfortunately, a lot of kids did get shut out. So if you do, say, 4 individuals at $5 per head, again, this is just a suggestion. I think that's a little more feasible.
I would agree with that. I think, well, my thoughts on this are twofold, addressing both the things that Joan said. Yes, this should have come to us for approval and agreement. Anytime we're charging the public for anything, it should be something that we agree on, just like a wedding rate or anything else. If someone had come to us, with an 80-20 split on anything, we would, we would want to approve it. So yes, this should have been approved before it was marketed. Secondly, I would agree that $20, I don't think $20 is a lot for what they're getting. I think $20 is a big jump from where we went with it being free. However, I do see the point. You know, we opened the Cove for free. Swim at your own risk, no passes and everything else. So I sort of don't think this is. I think the $20 should be negotiable. I think it's not too much, but again, I think where we're coming from zero, it's a lot.
So then if you guys want to revote the price, I can have Unipay retweak the link. All I'm going to say is that I have been under a lot of pressure from you guys to put something together and get something out there. So that's what I did.
Well, you've been under pressure to put things out there because that is your job. So that's number one. But number two, the job has to be done in accordance with the rules. And we've had fishing before. This is not, you know, a new idea or anything. So I can see why you thought you could just go and do that maybe. But I think the price did need to be discussed, because if everything comes back to us, you know, that it's too much or whatever, how did we go from zero to this? You know, are we trying to make up all the wedding money just from this program, blah, 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 because people are crazy about things like this. So, you know, I see both sides on that bill, but it should have come through us. So if you want to retweak the link, then I suggest we vote now on a price. Let's come to some consensus here. So I'd like to hear from people.
Diane, when was the start date of this again? I'm sorry.
September 5th and 6th are the first two dates.
September 5th and 6th. August 24th. Have you checked with Bill and Colin to see if we need any of the equipment? Because I remember last year they said some of the stuff was starting to wear down. So I don't know if we're going to have to put more money out or if they can make do with what they got. I would imagine the reels are probably good, but maybe the rods are a bit.
I've already had Bill check the equipment. 9 out of the 12 rods work.
Okay, so we're fine with equipment then.
As long as we don't have more than 9 people, yes.
9? Okay. You know, why don't we tweak it to 10 and I'll go down the road and get $10. I mean, it's not that pricey, and I think those two can handle 5 and 5. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? That way you get an even 10, you have an even flow. If we decide on it's $5 a head, then at least it's, you know, you got 10 people, it's $50 per setting. It's $100 a day, you know, so you got $200 for the weekend. So it more than takes care of the caretakers.
It does.
I think 10 is a good amount. I mean, it splits the difference from 0, and you know, where can you bring your kid for $10? Honestly.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Can't get a movie pass for that, can you? If they're open.
I don't know. You can't go to the movies anymore. So.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on this?
Brian, were you talking $5 or $10 a head?
I was talking 10. I mean, you know, that way we can, as long as we break even, we're paying the, you know, the caretakers if Bill is running it again, and you know, that's all we need to do is just break even. You know?
My numbers came off with a $5. So I mean, if you want 10, then that's fine with me too.
Yeah.
The only reason why I went so low is because remember when we tried to raise the rate of the Cove and what we went through just for that. I mean, this is kind of a new program. But I mean, if you think it's 10 and the commission thinks it's 10, then I'm fine with that too. I mean, I just think it was.
I would agree with 10 because, to Bill's point, we are in a pandemic, and I think people will understand that. I just think 20 to go from 0 to 20 is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if we use that narrative that, hey, you know, we're providing something, but you know, we have financial issues too, and you know, we're trying. So.
Exactly. So would anybody like to put forth a motion to charge $10 per kid for the fishing program and to redo the link?
So moved.
Second it? Anybody? I'm sorry. Joan, was that you?
Second.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she seconded. She was daydreaming there for a minute.
Thank you. Okay. So Brian Smith, are you in favor?
Yes.
Brian Pizzetti, you obviously are because you made the motion. And Joan seconded it. I'm in favor. So we'll change the link and market it as such on those dates that have already been posted.
If I could ask a question, do we have access to, and I don't know if Dory or Bill, either one of these two would know it, do we have access to the email system through the town hall where people get updates through the town, like a blast email?
I don't know. I'll ask Ryan.
We might want to, because we want to, whereas this is such short notice, this thing is going to have to be marketed and advertised quickly and big time. If you can get the links up on the Facebook page, I can share them out like crazy.
Okay, we may also, Juvie knows the people at the PTO and stuff to the school, so maybe they'd be willing to do it as well. They did movie night for us.
So we're doing $10, but we're doing 2 sessions a day, right? For $10 per head.
And 10 heads.
Okay, that works.
And the way that
Even
it's
better.
priced, they get the Saturday and the Sunday, and that's the way that I had it marketed. So it was the $20 and they get Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, but now
So
you're back to the 20.
So are we saying that they're getting Saturday and Sunday for 10? That's what I'm trying to clarify.
Why don't we just do, what if we have people who can only do one day, you know?
Right. $10 one shot, not 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a couple who do 2 days and, you know.
Oh, they'll pay for it.
Flexibility, you know. But.
So we're going specifically each day, $10 per kid.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
No, that's the same as $20. So,
yeah.
I apologize.
We'll do it that way. Sure.
What?
I apologize, but my understanding was to have a morning session and an afternoon session with a break in between. Okay, and I think it might be a good idea to do a Saturday and a Sunday so that in the end you can service 40 children.
And most of that broke up, so I didn't hear much of what you just said. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It was my understanding that we would have a morning session and an afternoon session and have 10 children per session at $10 per head per session, and that you could offer it on Saturday and Sunday, thus serving 40 children possibly.
So yeah, we can reconfigure it so that's the way that it is laid out. It's fine.
So we're really not changing anything unless you want 2 days. You know, if some parents want Saturday and Sunday, it's essentially the same, but we give them the flexibility to do one.
Exactly.
Well, you're also given the flexibility of more children in town getting the opportunity to, you know, be able to do it.
True.
Right, because there was a waiting list last time. So,
correct.
Can we just have, so the motion has already been made and accepted. We've just clarified the terms of the program. Bill's going to take care of it with the new marketing of it. And I can ask Juvie to reach out to the schools to put out an email blast, and Bill's going to check in with the town to see if we have access to emails to blast that out as well. It will also be updated on our Facebook page and on our Camp Kewaunee website. Are there any further discussions on this topic? Okay, seeing none, can we move on?
Sure.
Is there anything else under events?
I think we should talk about Halloween real quick.
You think we should talk about what?
Halloween. So the possible configuration of it year. I know John put something out on Facebook to try to get feedback from the community. And one of the things that was raised was possibly doing almost like a drive-through Halloween, which, again, given the status of where we're at, might not be the worst idea.
Okay. So sort of like instead of going through haunted cabins in person, sort of have a haunted drive all the way up the camp.
Yeah, so we'll have them come up the driveway, all the way up to the main lodge, maybe weave them kind of into the main parking lot and then around the lodge and back out. But given just the limitations of gathering size and everything, if folks are in their cars, then that takes away the piece of them actually being physically there. They wouldn't count towards that number of 50 people.
Okay. What I understand the limitations as they apply to COVID, but we also have limitations as they apply to our driveway.
That's true.
So having people going in and out. So we would have to have shifts, and we would also have to have a police presence, which shouldn't be a problem because there is a community fund for police details. And we could petition to have one of those used during that event. Plus, we would have caretakers directing traffic.
Can't.
We
Police
wouldn't
only
need that. I'm sorry?
You can, caretakers can't do traffic out front, but I talked to John after he put that post up, and my concern was Camp Kewanee Road, and I said maybe when the time comes to talk about it, we might consider, as you guys have done with McQuon, using McQuon as a roundabouts drive-through, because you can get in and out of that parking lot, and say you take the long way around and then you exit out the other way, and potentially decorating across the street in the Indian Head Field. Whereas, you'd still be involving the town. We wouldn't get them at the camp, but it would still be a camp function.
Yeah, it would be a recreation function, and that's where the town is going. So they're going to put together Parks and Rec.
They're going to try.
No, I think they're probably going to succeed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Okay.
But that's just a thought. Again, Camp Kewanee Road, one car at a time, is going to be awful tight.
Okay, so Bill, could you please send us out an email, within the next week, with some possibilities for drive-through Halloween events versus a haunted cabin event? There's no way we would be able to adhere to social distancing rules by having all the games and such that we have had in the past in the lodge.
Yeah, no, we have to scrap all that for this year, I'm pretty sure.
Right, I would agree. That being said, we do need to provide something. So a drive-through may be able to do it. So if you could put together 2 or 3 different proposals, that would be good. And send them out to us this week so that we can have a discussion on them at our next meeting. Well, or the one after the 31st.
Sure.
Okay. I did have one question since we moved from Frisbee golf to the fishing program in one fell swoop. I just wanted to know with the with the Frisbee golf, do we have enough open space to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I have it going from the lodge through the bridle area up through the south end, across kind of like the parking lot through the north end, almost down to the frontier and then back. I mean, it's not going to be a huge course, but if you think about, golfing like a par 3 course, you're not going to have the really long holes like you would say at Pembroke Country Club. This is more like I think Strawberry Valley, where that's a par 3.
Right.
But it's still
Can we use the kickball area, the volleyball area, the beach area, just to make it more worth our while or whatever? Or are those possibilities or no? Or are they already being utilized?
I mean, it's possible, but then there's, more of the street that we're crossing, more of the parking lots, and I was trying to kind of reduce how many times we'd have to cross the street.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's all I want to know. Yeah, I didn't think of that. So that's good. All right. And we might need those areas for parking. I didn't think of that, obviously. So, okay. Well, I think we could still use the volleyball and the kickball area, though.
Oh yeah, the volley. I mean, one of the holes would be right next to the volleyball courts. I mean, it's literally through the whole south end, the whole north end, and almost down to the frontier.
Okay, sounds good.
Diane, I have a question.
Yes, Brian.
I got a picture. Was there a written plan that went with that? Because we were looking for a comprehensive plan. I didn't know if maybe I just didn't get it. Like, how what happens when you arrive, who's running it, how is each hole going to be taken care of, and all that other, and how much is the equipment cost, obviously. All I got was like a picture.
Bill, can you speak to that?
Well, yeah, as I said, I'm still trying to put together the goals and everything and trying to get the materials. So I put together what I could with the disc golf to then pivot to the fishing program so that we could have something ready to go for September. So I was trying to do them both at the same time.
Okay.
So it was either I could have given you an entire plan for something that wasn't going to happen right away, or I could give you, some of what we're looking to do in a concept and work toward that, and then give you a program where we can make a little money.
So can we expect a comprehensive plan? I mean, obviously, I don't want to market any of this until we've seen a plan. We should see a plan before we can vote on it. So
right, which is why I was planning for October anyway, because that gives us plenty of time.
All right. So nothing's in the works yet as far as confirming any of this. So we're still waiting on the plan.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I'm putting the plan together. I just don't have everything to send to you because, again, if I just work on that plan and it's not going to happen until October, that means we lose the month of September and the opportunity to at least make something on the fishing program.
Okay, so Unipay is being set up for the fishing program, and we can expect in the next few weeks a plan for the Frisbee.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Moving on? What else is under old business?
The next thing, the movie night. So we had already kind of talked about that a little bit.
Okay, and did we get the check from movie night yet?
Nope.
Okay, so we're waiting on a check from the Rotary, correct?
Correct, and then we'll just have to, I guess commission will have to accept it, and then it'll have to go to the Board of Selectmen, and then, yeah, we're good to go.
Okay. After that, anything else?
Story walk?
Story walk. I'm going to give that one to Dory.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Diane. So the story walk is this Sunday, August 30th. It's 5 to 7. And Juvie has it, promoted through the South Shore Children's Museum. And they're coming 5 to 7. I believe it's maximum 25 families. And I know there was like a concern with the, the mosquitoes and everything. But I'm thinking 5 to 7, and she's going to have a food truck and an ice cream truck that she was going to deal with the paperwork through the Board of Health. So really, it's just from 5 to 7, and kids come up and they're going to walk through a half mile through, start like kind of by the volleyball court, go back a little bit on the bog, take a left, put back out by the field. Come back up by the parking lot, and that's where, I'm going to give complimentary books and little gifts and stuff like that. And I think it'll be a nice night. Okay, Dory, are you being reimbursed for the books? No, I'm giving them. That's my, I'm donating that. Yeah.
Okay, so 100%. You're donating it to the Children's Museum.
Yeah.
Well, so that's
donating
good.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they
Absolutely.
are sponsoring this event. So, do we
Correct.
need caretakers? Do we need caretakers at this event?
I mean, not to my knowledge.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm going to be there because I'm just going to be, signing the books and giving them out and giving little gift packets.
Right.
I don't think, I don't think that we do.
That's all I wanted to know. Hello? Can anybody still hear me? Okay.
No.
Well, thanks, Dory, for that update. Thank you for donating your time, though, Dory, and for doing this. And I want a copy of the book too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. No, I'm excited. I don't know. I'm passionate about kids being outdoors and just the outdoors thing. Especially
Me
now,
too.
even more so than before. So, I think I'm glad that people are excited about it. That makes me excited.
Right.
Not just me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
After
welcome.
Story Walk, anything else?
Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts. That seemed to have gone well, and John Zuko really helped out with that. Juvie spent a lot of time. I'm pleased we are building that relationship with the Scouts. I think it's very important. And I hope other scouting groups come and use the camp for similar purposes. And I think we need to cultivate that relationship. So anything we can do to make it easier. And now that we've got one run through, we can run it the same way. If everybody,
there will need to be some tweaks, but overall, the concept and everything is great. It'll need a couple tweaks.
Great. So I would like to know what the tweaks need to be. That would be fabulous. So you guys, you can send out what needs to be tweaked, and then we can sort of have a folder, with Dory that says, okay, we're running a scouting event. Here's everything that needs to happen. Here's all the paperwork. Do it, book the date, and be done. And then we don't have all this last minute hurried chaos. So that would be very helpful. So once we have, Dory, can you set up a folder, file, or something that, specific to scouting events, similar to the one that just ran?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
Yep.
So have all the paperwork from Board of Health in there, and,
Yeah, because now that we've been through it, now we know what we need and what we didn't have, what we do want, and all that.
Exactly. Okay.
Yep.
After
Hey,
that,
Diane?
yes.
Pump the brakes on that one for 1 sec. I don't know if they're the ones who put up the quote-unquote fire poles. Is that the Boy Scouts that did it, or was our crew the ones that put up the fire poles?
Are you referring to the things near the fire pit?
Yeah.
That was part of Mac Johnson's Eagle Scout project. That was required through the Board of Selectmen that those needed to get put in.
Okay. Couple things with those poles. One, the hooks before someone skewers themselves should actually be hung underneath the pole. Probably get smaller hooks, because if someone trips, they're getting the hook in the eye. Other thing is the one at the main lodge entrance is kind of like a yellow elephant. It doesn't belong there. It looks horrible, and if you want to try to have a wedding there, it's going to be in your way. So I would maybe recommend to see if someone can move it, either close to the flagpole or close to the where the light is, but kind of out of the way of the middle of the area. I mean, it's a great concept, but it's
Brian, can you send that to Bill, and Bill, can you then take care of that with the caretakers?
Well, I mean, they showed they're cemented in, so I mean, it's going to take more than just just kind of figuring out. The other thing is that when we start taking out the stumps and everything up there and putting down loom and everything, there's a good chance that they're going to get ripped out anyway because they may be in the way. So I get that. Yes, I would agree. It is an eyesore. We just kind of showed up one day and they were there. But again, the Board of Selectmen required it. So maybe there's a way that once we get the front reconfigured, we can reassess how that's set up so it doesn't look as ugly. But I mean, for the time being, especially where we're not really having weddings, I think to try to do something about it right now when it's probably going to get ripped out when we do the stumps, we should probably at least wait till that project happens.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I
Can we
spoke to John
maybe
Sandberg
have-
about those stumps. Yep.
Maybe in the interim,
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
can't hear Brian Frizzetti. Go ahead.
maybe in the interim, can we have the caretakers at least actually at all locations? Because again, the hooks are sticking out the side. Can maybe the caretakers unscrew those and stick them on the bottom, closer towards the center pole, so that way, someone doesn't get hooked.
Yeah, we can at least do that. We don't want
And
anybody
paint
losing an eye.
Yeah, and maybe paint the Ace hardware buckets like a different color, like red or green or something.
We could probably just buy new buckets for cheap at Walmart or something.
Yeah.
And plastic
Sounds
ones.
good.
I was thinking of putting
I haven't seen those, so I can't speak to it. Okay. What is after boys? Bill, you can add that to the tweaking thing about projects being have to be able to beautify the camp and not be in the way of that. So what comes next after Boy Scouts?
General correspondence?
Is there any?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I do have something.
Great. Go ahead, Brian Smith.
Where are we with the dumpster? Did we get a new agreement with what we agreed upon, Bill?
I was just saying, we have waste management under department head update, so we can skip down to that if you want.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yes, the new dumpster is getting delivered tomorrow. The contract is in John's office waiting to be signed so I can send back to ABC. I am still trying to get Republic over to get rid of their dumpster. So I will call them again tomorrow. I did talk to one of their CSRs last week. And again, she assured me that she sent everything to our old account rep and that it would be handled, and it still hasn't. So I'll deal with them again tomorrow. But yeah, ABC will be dropping off the 6-yarder and putting it in the fenced-in area tomorrow.
Okay, well, will that 6-yarder have side doors for our caretakers? Because usually the 6-yard enough do, and they're not just the front loads.
I am not sure.
It's just.
Can you find out?
Yeah.
Before they dump it.
It would really help folks who are emptying trash, so they don't have to lift it as up on shoulder level and they just slide it in. There'll be plenty of room if that thing is centered in that enclave. Another thing is we really should consider locking this dumpster because we have no events and we're getting people. I know that people, I've seen it where people are just going up there and dumping, and the last thing we want to do is pay for other people's trash, and when we're trying to cut expenses. So
yeah, we can bore some holes in the fence. We can do a chain and a lock, and then that way they can't open the fence.
Yeah, that would help. That way we don't pay for others folks, and then we can call as needed. And when we get back on an event schedule, then we can look at schedules, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly. It always can change. So just a thought.
Okay, so then what I'm hearing is tomorrow morning you'll call the side if we can have side doors on the dumpster. If they can't have side doors on the dumpster on the 6-yarder, then what are our options, Brian?
Usually they can, but maybe you go up to an 8-yarder. You really want that. Usually they're on both sides, and like I say, it's just easier for all involved. And they should be able to do it because usually it's 6 yards or better where you do that. But if they say, well, we can't do it, they can do it for an 8. But you can push them. What is it, ABC? We have ABC dumpsters, and they have 6 yard dumpsters with side doors.
Yeah, and even oftentimes, I mean, the caretakers, when they load up the trash, it's in the gator and they back the gator up to it. So usually they're standing on the gator and opening up the thing. So it's most times they're not necessarily loading it from ground level. They're almost hovering above it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll call ABC tomorrow before they deliver it.
Yeah, that could be a potential safety issue if they're doing that. I know you don't want anybody
Okay.
on the back of the theater on that. That's
Okay. So the dumpster is going to be taken care of. And what else is next on the agenda, Bill?
Well, if we're going back after general correspondence with teams.
Okay. Does facilities want to put anything out there right now?
I have a question about the stumps, which you might be able to answer or might not be able to answer. Brian and I had a slight conversation, not much of one, but pending, do we know what's going on with the town? Is the town looking to hire someone out to do the stumps, or are they going to do it internal? Might it be something
Okay.
Brian and I maybe try to get some people and price it out?
Okay.
I just want to get clarity.
Yep.
The
Let me
highway
just tell you.
director and John were working on that. I have
They
to
put
find out
out
what's
the
going on.
Sorry, go ahead. They put out the RFPs for that. He said he's got some estimates. He didn't give me how much right now. It has to be done through the town because that's where the money is coming from the town, not necessarily our budget. And correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, Bill. And he did say that it should be happening, I think he said in the fall.
okay, but my concern with that is, can we separate it from the road, the camp CK road, and get at least the right in front of the lodge done so we can do some seeding for next year? Because if we wait for the overall, we could be here in November and have nothing.
Yeah, Brian, it's getting phased out. It's going to be way too much money. Yeah, it's going to be phased out. We're going to start with the lodge in the parking lot area for that specific reason. Well, both reasons. It's going to be way too expensive to do it all in one go. We'll also be able to focus on the lodge, get the stumps out of the middle, loom it, seed it, and have grass for next year.
That would be perfect. That will make a tremendous difference.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the stumps. Anything else with facilities?
Not at this point.
Okay. Just so you know, I did put a call out to Chris, but I have not received a call back. As far as the cove goes, it's open, swim at your own risk. I was down there all day yesterday. People were actually social distancing for in the water, of course. But it was a really joyous day to see because people were laughing and playing with their kids, and there were no problems, and everybody was very respectful, and I didn't see any trash anywhere. So it was really nice.
That's great.
Yeah, it really made me happy. It wasn't by any means more crowded than it normally would have been, and it was a pretty hot day yesterday. So, good. And I don't think anybody else is here from any of the other teams. So.
Hey, Diane, about the Cove?
Yes.
As a matter of fact?
Yes.
Since I have nothing to do in life, I've driven through and up and down a couple of times. And yes, people are being very good for the most part about social distance. I think there was once where there were no adults, they were all kids. But do we have a backup plan in place? Like the other day, there were thunderstorms in the middle of the afternoon, and the Cove was still open. And obviously during lightning, thunder, and rain, it needs to shut down real quick.
I don't know, Bill. Do we?
Well, no, because I mean, I've got the caretakers scheduled to take care of closing down the gate. I'm scheduling them accordingly to be there by 6 o'clock. Somebody's
hurry up. Not you.
Again, they know that if it's thundering and lightning, if we have staff on at that given time, they will go down and close the gate. If they're not yet there for their shift, then it may be open, or I may just have to go down and close it. But no, there's no, like, we don't have a floater scheduled, to play the weather.
So there's no floater schedule. Right now it's swim at your own risk. And if we can call somebody in last minute for, to close the gate, that's fine. But again, it's swim at your own risk. And the hours are such and such. So we're still covered by that. And I'm not at all, I'm not worried about it. It's swim at your own risk. People should know the dangers. We can put up a sign as a thing for next year, or if you want to be able to get one this year, get out of the water, no swimming during thunderstorms. If you want to do that, that's fine. But, we're covered.
Yeah, and we do have 2 caretakers that live pretty close by, so if it comes down to it and we need somebody to get down there, yeah, we have people close by. But I mean, for the most part, if people are swimming during a lightning storm, I don't know what to tell you, because that's a Darwin issue more than anything else.
Right. It's not our responsibility to take care of people that are ignorant of those things.
Yeah,
okay.
It also says on the sign, no swimming during inclement weather.
Well, there you go.
Correct.
So you cover.
Speaking of signs, if I could take 2 seconds.
Okay, we're going on an hour and a half here, people.
Yeah, this is like a couple of seconds, and I can't imagine this not being resolved. Can we potentially make human-looking signs for the doors as you enter the building? That's maybe, you don't need an enter sign to tell someone to enter the building, but the magic marker and the green masking tape look like garbage.
Yeah, I think we can raise our bar a little bit.
Yeah, that was a quick fix. I'll take it down, but it was a quick fix because, again, we needed to have something up so that people would go in and out of the building.
Okay, all right, cool. But we've been open since June, so I'm sure it can be fixed now. It's almost September, so. All right. What else? Is there anything else on this agenda now?
Just facilities-wise, overhead doors coming tomorrow to look at and hopefully fix the library window, and then we should have, hopefully by the end of tomorrow, all working library windows. We'll see. That would be great. I've got feelers out for, the kitchen project and the vent hood. So I'm waiting to hear back from somebody that was, so essentially Flight Alarm told me to reach out to RE Lyons, who handles our fire extinguishers, and said they're a good place to start for, businesses that we can reach out to help us with the kitchen and the vent project.
Okay, we have to do RFPs on those.
Yes, which is why that's why I reached out to them, so I could get the names of some folks. So I'm waiting on a quote back from Hoodmart from this referral through RE Lyons, and I also have reached out to Chris to see if he's started anything together for that project.
Okay.
So the feelers are out there. We don't have anything back yet, but we're working on it.
One thing that has come up with that is, the range hood and the fact that shouldn't we get rid of a pizza oven? I've had this discussion with Chris. I'm sure you have, Diane. That range hood and the Ansel system is major money, and we can save some money if we reconfigure that kitchen with that pizza oven. So I know that's been brought up before, but we're just kind of beating the drum on this, but I think we really need to talk about that.
Okay, then what I think we need to do is, can you put that all in writing so that whoever does come in to look at the kitchen proposal has that information, that this is a possibility? Possibly we'd like to reconfigure the kitchen and reconfigure the ovens, etc., so that we can make this, work better. And that way we would get more accurate proposals. So anybody coming in, anybody giving us a proposal is going to have to come in and actually see the kitchen. You would never bid on a job this big without seeing it, would you?
No, I'd like to go up there and see it myself, just to with Chris and Brian, and see, what are our options. We can save some considerable money if we kind of, look at other options instead of keeping everything, but bring it back to the commission to talk about it. So.
Okay. So let's we can put it on the next meeting.
So Brian,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just so I'm following. So just so I can have it in my head. So you're suggesting we remove one of the pizza ovens, kind of move things closer together so that we would have a smaller hood, smaller Ansel system? Is that what we're aiming for?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the discussions I've had with Chris and Brian is, let's look at, will we ever use that pizza oven? We can save some serious money here and divert it to other things. If we do reconfigure a little bit, but I want to see it too, because I haven't been there in a while, and I'd like to meet with Chris and Brian and you and talk about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if that makes the most sense and we can save some money, because then that would save us from having to try to repair the blodgets if we can just get rid of those and keep the electric ones, which work perfectly fine, and then get a smaller, excuse me, hood system. Yeah, it makes sense, certainly.
Yeah, it's something we should explore, and then we can take it to
I agree with exploring it, but I just want you to know that some of the events that we have at the camp regularly, for example, the turkey dinner, the St. Patrick's Day dinner, those things typically require the use of all the ovens that we have there.
But some of these events too have food trucks, Diane, and
Well, I'm only speaking to the events that are consistently at the camp. The Historical Society's turkey dinner, the Hanson Business Network St. Patrick's Day. These are the things, like when those ovens weren't working, it was a tremendous inconvenience for the people in the kitchen because they actually had to take food back to people's homes to heat it, to get it all out in the appropriate amount of time. So what I'm saying is yes, I understand trying to save money here. I really do, and nobody wants to do that more than I do. But we also need to understand that sometimes we have events there with 200 people that are not dancing like in a wedding, that are just eating, and the food, they did require the use of all those ovens. So I just want that to be a factor, and I would like to be able, before we go into securing someone for that job, I would like to be able to look at a proposal that includes both either fixing or replacing the ball jets and getting rid of them.
Okay.
That is all I'm asking.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at that and see if there are other options beside the pizza oven that aren't as big, that don't require a big Ansel system and hood. So there might be, things we can do there.
That'd be great. I mean, and you would know better about that than I would. I'm just like, I don't know why there would need to be an Ansel system for a pizza oven in the first place, but
well, it's code, so fortunately.
Yeah.
And it's more for the stove and everything too, when you've got all the pots going in, oil and oil.
Yeah, I totally get it for the stove. I totally get it for the stove. I don't understand it for an electric pizza oven. So,
yeah, no, and if anything, you don't want water spilling onto an electric pizza oven, I wouldn't imagine, but
right. Well,
that would make a whole different issue.
And that brings us back to the Darwin with swimming in the electrical storms. So,
full circle.
Okay. Now that we've done full circle, is there anything else?
Yeah, can I ask how many people are calling Chris? Seems like everybody is, and if I was them, I probably wouldn't call anybody back.
He always usually calls me back. So
I'm just hearing, Bill called, you called, Brian obviously is going to need to call. Now you get 3 people calling Chris for maybe 3 different things, but if it's facilities wise, I would think that either Bill or maybe Brian, whereas Brian takes lead on facilities, maybe instead of him being overwhelmed by calls, because I remember before, Bill, if you remember, you were being inundated by emails. And
right.
If he's getting 3 calls, 3 different people, and 3 different issues, I think he may be getting overwhelmed. Plus, he's busy anyways.
Right.
Just a thought, just something I noticed.
Okay. Enough said, I understand it. Okay. Is there anything else we want to discuss tonight?
Motion to adjourn. Next meeting's next week.
Okay. At the lodge with your mask.
Yep.
Social distancing.
I'll wear two.
All right. Are we all set? Did anyone want to second the motion to adjourn?
Say it.
Second.
Thank you, Joan. I was like, that sounds curiously the same. But thank you, Joan. Okay. All those in favor? I'm an aye. Brian Smith
Aye.
and Brian and Joan, you are obviously aye since you made the motion and seconded it. So therefore, this meeting is adjourned, and I will see you all on the 31st. And Bill, I look forward to getting any emails that you need to give us regarding tweaks for Boy Scouts and anything else discussed tonight.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night, Tori. Good night, Bill. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.